Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Blokes on a Budget, Tips, Tricks and Money Savers. I'm your host, Dean Turbin. Today's show is going to be on, well, mostly referred to as a backup battery system, but basically it is just a battery system that you can have power outlets on, that is chargeable, that you can take with you camping, take with you in your vehicle, take with you for driving, or just have at home for if the power does go out and you do need some sort of power to run a bit of lighting or a laptop to watch a movie or whatever. But obviously I mainly use it for barbecues at parks because I can run the Waco 12 volt fridge on it and a bit of lighting or whatever, and obviously camping and any sort of driving trips I do. So what's in the box? What's in the box? The 12 volt battery system. So you need to be able to make a box. It's got to be contained in the box because inside this box are two of these big 12 volt batteries, and obviously they're the same size as a car battery, so they are heavy. So I'm not going to teach you how to make a box, but you need to make something to contain it. It's going to need handles to carry it around. You put wheels on it if you want, whatever you want. You make the box how you want it. But what is inside it, and I undo it, flip it over, is important stuff. We've got the charger. So this charger is from 240 volts, so from a power point. You've got the inverter to take it from 12 volts to 240 volts. Obviously it's a low wattage. This one, this is 1000 watts, so that's not too bad. Run quite a few things with that. And then also inside I have two of these plug adapters, which are basically cigarette lighters, is what they are. So they act as 12 volt sockets. So if you've got any 12 volt things you want to run, such as I said before, the 12 volt fridge can run out of that. Your lighting, you can get LED lighting 12 volt, the automotive stuff, cigarette jack, that'll run into that. Any iPhone chargers, any phone chargers, anything that will plug into a cigarette lighter you can run from the car, you can start buying and using these. And then you've got your 240 volt outlet there to run other things. What you want to do is you want to try to, with the products you do plug into this, you do want to try and keep it to the 12 volt stuff. If you can get 12 volt stuff, you'll do the same thing as the 240 volt stuff. It's more efficient. You're not taking the 12 volt, you're not losing power and trying to invert it over, anything like that. It's good stuff to have. Now with any batteries, they must be charged constantly. If your batteries start running down, so you can't take this box and just leave it in your backyard and think your batteries are going to be okay. This thing stays plugged into the wall socket constantly, and it's constantly getting charged with the smart charger here, which I'll go through in a minute when I go over the components in a bit more detail. You could set this up in your car so you're charging from your car constantly as you're driving around, but I don't have room, and when you're camping I like to be able to pull it out of the vehicle, leave it in the tent, just outside the tent. The fridge is running the whole time, the lighting's set up, you know, I'm not driving away, unplugging anything, it's just there. But having said that, it'd be nice to have it in the car the whole time. What I do with the car, I'm just going to run it charging actually, seeing as we seem to be on this thing here. I have another inverter. This is a 300 watt inverter. This lives in my car all the time, so if I do need to charge some of my power tool batteries and things like that, straight into the cigarette lighter and I can charge. So when I'm away, obviously I don't have 240 volt power coming from anywhere. If I did, I wouldn't need this stuff. I just turn the car on, idle it up, plug that in, clip it straight to the battery with another adapter that comes with it, plug the charger straight into that, and I can charge the system up while I'm away, maybe idle the car for an hour if I want, while I'm sitting down doing something else right near it all. So that's how you can charge things for a longer term when you're away. So the types of batteries you want to use, you obviously don't want to use normal everyday car batteries, lead acid car batteries, because the lead will leak everywhere. There's two types here. I've got inside here at the moment, inside the actual box, is absorbed glass matting, which means the acid is absorbed into a glass mesh, so it can't leak. And these are valve regulated batteries over here, deep cycle valve regulated batteries. Both pretty much the same sort of thing, very, very safe. They can be mounted upside down, sideways, shake them around, do what you want with them. They're safe, safe, safe. They're 12 volt each, as I said. You can also use Gold Cup batteries, but I believe they're 6 volt, so then you need to get two 6 volts, wire them in series, which I'll discuss in a minute, and then wire them parallel. Obviously, you can do this whole thing with just one battery, and obviously that's the way you want to start. You want to start with one battery, one charger, one inverter, maybe a 12 volt socket, and all of them are just put straight onto these points here, which I'll show you in a minute. Obviously 2 is better because these right here are 70 amp hour batteries. So what does that mean? I could run something for 70 amps, which is quite extreme, for 1 hour, or I can run, say, something for 5 amps for 14 hours. So you just take the 70 amps you've got, you divide it by the amps of the product you're using, so it's a 5 amp product, it's going to give me 14 hours. When I combine 2 batteries together, I've now got 120 amp hours. So what was 14 amp hours is now 28 amp hours. Fridge, for example, the 12 volt fridge runs on 9 amps, but it doesn't run constantly, you know, it's well insulated, depends how often you open and close it, and it's well insulated, it's a very efficient machine, and I can get, with these 2 batteries, easily get 7 days on a camping trip, no problems whatsoever. So, if you can see here, these are valve regulated ones. It says on the front, deep cycle. What does deep cycle mean? Deep cycle means the battery can be run down to near zero or very, very low levels more than, say, a car battery, which is not deep cycle. If a car battery is run down, let's just say 10 times, the life of the battery is seriously degraded to the point of probably death. Let's say this could be run down to zero 20 times, 30 times, whatever the number is, I don't exactly know. But that's what deep cycle means, and you want a deep cycle battery for this because the point of this is to charge it up, take it away, and run it down. So a car battery is not going to do the job. Besides, I said before, it's not very safe. So, I guess I'll move the camera and I'm going to show you how to, first of all, wire the batteries up so you have one big battery. Alright everyone, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to put combined batteries together to get bigger storage first. Then I'll quickly show you how to wire up this system as on one battery, and then I'll show you how to do it with 2 batteries. And then after that, the next section, I'm going to show you how to put all the little crimp connections on and stuff. I'm going to do that last, just in case anyone who has absolutely no problems doing these sort of things doesn't have to sit through all that right now. But we are going to get to the nitty gritty of it. So we got, on my system, I have 1, 2 of the 12 volt plugs. I've got the connection for the 5-stage smart charger here. Okay, it's 3-stage, 5-stage, all different stages. Just a smart charger, okay, so it knows to regulate its charge and it keeps the batteries topped up. And then we've got our inverter over here for the 240 volt. If you're overseas, it'll be whatever voltage you normally deal with. And then 2 link cables here to link batteries together if you're going to do a 2 battery system. While we're talking about the 2 link batteries out, I'll show you how to make a system bigger. All you need to do is you take the 2 positive sides, you join it together with a link cable like that. Positive to positive. Okay? Very simple. Positive to positive. If I had another battery over here, I wanted 3, 4 or 20, positive to positive all the way along with a link cable like that. Negative to negative. The black one to the black one. Unfortunately guys, I don't have a black link wire here. I'm using a red one. So it's the same as what you just did. So all the negatives together, all the positives together. If you want more batteries, just link them. If you're going to take this system and extend a solar charger onto it and solar cells on the back of on your roof, you know, and you want heaps more batteries, you can have as many as you want. Just put all the actives together, all the neutrals together, positives and negatives together. If you do it the other way, and I do need to explain it so you get what the idea. If we do active from one battery to the neutral of the other battery, right? And then we run that to a piece of equipment, the other, the active over here to a piece of equipment, and this negative. So if you can see what's happening here, we got from whatever we're powering, we come in to the positive, right? Basically through the battery to the negative. Negative goes to the positive of the other battery, and then this becomes our other negative over here. Basically, we've turned this from 12 volts to a 24 volt battery. It has now become one big 24 volt battery instead of two 12 volt batteries. So that's called, when we do it like that, it's called in series. So if you want to look that up, look it up. But what we're doing and what you'll be doing and what you always want to do is do it in parallel, which means all the actives go together, all the red ones get linked up, and then all the neutrals go together, all the black ones get linked up. Okay, very simple. Now, if we want to build one, and you're going to start with one battery, because that's what you can afford, which is great. All you need to do is get your one battery, alright? Get your 12 volt plugs. We'll say we're working with one plug because we've just started here, right? We take the red wire off our inverter, if that's what if you're gonna have an inverter on it. So we combine the red wire of the 12 volt plug. We take the red wire of the charger over here. So we get all the red links, all the red wires, we put them all together, right? And we put them on the red terminal. Oh, it's going to take me a second to get them all through this stupid bowl. It's getting a little bit trickier. Quite simply, put them all on that red terminal, screw them in. And then we just do the same. We take the black wire off the 12 volt plug, the black wire off our inverter, the black wire off our charger, which unfortunately I accidentally got bundled up there and ended up over here as well as the red one, so that's not good. But that's not a bad example, because you see guys, you can't really do anything drastically wrong here and damage too much stuff. Okay, so all our black ones are now together, and all the black ones are now getting wired through the bolts, straight on the batteries, and that's it guys, that's done. One battery with a 12 volt plug, with a 240 volt inverter over here, power point inverter, and the charger all ready. Keep that plugged in your wall at home, right? It'll keep charging every day of its life, keep the battery topped up, grab this and these two things, build some sort of arrangement to contain it, go where you want to go, do what you want to do. Right, now I'm going to show you how we combine to make a bigger system. Okay everyone, so I've put it together with two batteries now. And I know it looks a bit like a bird's nest, but if you've kept up, it shouldn't be too hard to understand. Basically, I explained to you before about putting two batteries in parallel, and I explained that you put the link wire between the active or positive or the red, right, three ways to say it, to the active, positive or red of the other battery, and do same with the neutral or negative, link the neutrals together. So basically what we're doing is we're linking the two batteries together, and we're doing exactly the same thing we did when I showed you the one battery setup. We're taking all the active stuff. So I've got two 24 volt sockets here. They're two red wires, they're all over here on the red side. I've got my 240 volt inverter, or if you're overseas, 120, whatever voltage you're using. All that stuff is piled over here on the red side and all just screwed down with the screw. All the negatives to those two 12 volt sockets and that inverter are all over here on the negative side. The only thing I've done a little bit different than with the single battery is I've taken remember I put the charger to the batteries, I put them all on the same side, just to make things a bit better, nicer and neater, and so I don't have I'm running out of lengths of screw here to keep putting all these rings through. I've just put it on the other battery. So all I've done is I've done the first battery I've showed you with everything lumped on it, I've connected the two batteries together in parallel, and I've just taken the charger and put it over here, with the red wire being there, and the black wire being on the neutral, just like it was. So then, if I get 240 volt power, and I plug my charger in, my lights come up over here on my charger. That battery is now charging. This is safe as hell. I'm touching everything, okay? Alright? No, don't stick your tongue on it. But this is a really great little electrical project to do at home. It's a lot of fun. And it's very, very safe, and you can add to it. Like I said, you start with one battery, go to two batteries, just start with the one inverter, don't even worry about these sockets, then put two of these sockets on, go for your life, put a charger on it later, a charge controller, put some solar cells on your roof, I haven't done that yet, that's why I'm not showing you how to do it. Build yourself a box, whatever. Just, you can add to this system day by day. In a minute I'll show you how to do it for who don't need a bit of technical knowledge. I'll show you how to put all these little loops on here. Alright. Alright, so a lot of this gear is going to come probably not with these little rings installed on it for you. So you're going to have to do that for yourself. See, they're going to come, a lot of stuff's going to come with jumper clamps and all sorts of stuff, cigarette adapters or whatever. But it's very, very simple. These things come in 3 different sizes that you could ever think to work with. And then yellow, blue and red. This system, I've got a smaller cable here for the 12 volt, sorry, PowerPoint. Obviously the blue one's on it. The inverter has a thicker cable, okay? So we're going up to the yellow ones. If you live in Australia, all this stuff, Jaycar is the best bet. Walk in there, grab whatever you want. These rings and everything, you can get them all from any electrical supplier as well, like household electrical supplier. You can get that from there. But these inverters, charge controllers, they all came from Jaycar. If you're overseas, good luck. I suggest you look at another guy, Stephen Harris. He has a website called, I think for the I haven't seen it, but I do know of this bloke, and he's pretty good, very, very thorough, great information. Battery 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe it is. And he's got information crazy, you know, DVDs that go for 25 an hour, 25 minutes to an hour on how to do this stuff if you want it. Okay, so let's get on with it. Basically, you do the whole job with, okay, wait a minute. These things, you can get special crimpers for these. You don't need it. You do the whole job with a pair of pliers, even cheap pliers, even a pair of, how about that? Even a pair of pliers out of your kid's pretend toolbox, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off that so it's not there anymore. And the process that's going to happen here is basically we're just going to strip a bit of this insulation down, enough so we can just see some copper at the end of this blue here. So if you want to work it out. We don't want to see copper at the end, okay? That's the point of it. We don't want to see copper back here. So, just trying to show you, right? It's mirrored, halfway down the blue thing, so we're going to take off a couple of mil. Each pliers, which should have some stripper at the back. If it doesn't, you can use your teeth, keep biting on it, strip it off. Alright, couple of small light depressions, and I'm turning the wire as I'm doing it, just to slightly cut around. And then a nice grip and pull, takes a bit of technique. Alright, that's enough. You can have a bit more than that, that's plenty. Get your fingers, give it a little twist. Alright, we're going to stick it into this blue thing, and you can, I don't know if you can just see, we're just getting a bit of wire come out the end here. That's fine, we can't see any wire on this side, so that's good workmanship. I have little nibs in here that are designed just to crimp these things, but you can just use your plier head if you want and squash the hell out of it. I'm going to use my crimpy thing because this is going back on my system and I've got the right gear, so why not use it? Crimp. Done. Just make sure it doesn't pull off. That's all you got to do. Anything that doesn't have a little loop on it, buy your little rings, crimp them on. All you need, the only tool you're going to need is a pair of pliers for that. The link wires are a different story, okay? They have really big ones like this, okay? Again, Turks, any electrical supplier or Jaycar is going to have them for you. But you can't crimp that with a pair of pliers. This is too big, okay? This is the one you want, 35 to 9 I think it says on it. And the other thing you're going to want is a bit of this heat shrink stuff. Probably is a good idea. I don't think it's a tip-top idea to have this exposed, but you can. I wouldn't call it the end of the world if you did. Okay, so the best way to get this wire is go to the $2 shop, the dollar store, the cheapest thing you can find, and buy the cheapest pair of jumper leads you can come across. And it'll be cable of about that thickness. This is the thickness you need for 2 batteries together. Okay? You must get it. Let's get a thick cable. Don't try and put a piece of wire this thin, you know, between these 2 batteries. You'll cut it with your pliers, boom, cut the length, the size you want, and it's the same process. You just work around and work around and work around till you strip the outer casing off, slide it off, or you can use a knife or something like that. Then this big bugger, which like I said, this one's too big, but a smaller version of this, the same size as that, will slide on the cable. Alright, then what you do is you get a hammer and you beat the crap out of this bit here with a hammer on something hard till it squashes and it's on there and it's not going to come off. You don't have to buy a big expensive crimping tool. If you can find these tiny little bits of, this is a red little bit of heat shrink, and when heated with a little blowtorch it shrinks down and covers all this up. It's good workmanship. I'm not going to say, you know, you can do the job without it. I just think it's better to have them. Alright, just less chance of something touching something else and short-circuiting. But that's how you make your link wire with these things, and that's how you crimp all your little pilot things on. Okay everyone, so that's it. Build your system, put it in a nice box, carry it around. You've got a party going on and your wife or your husband, whoever's building it, wants you to, wants lighting down the back, wants you to string some of those Christmas tree lights, the fairy lights you've got for your Christmas tree. She wants, or he wants them over the back of the back wall of the house before you have a party, or the back fence or the back trees. Take your battery system down there. This inverter with some low voltage lighting like Christmas tree lights, you plug a power board into the inverter with 5 sockets on it, run 5 sets of string lights anywhere you want. Goes camping, goes wherever you want. I love it. It's a really great project. Again, if you haven't seen my videos before, you can get me on the web, www.blokesonaBudget.com.au, or on the Blokes on a Budget fanbook page, or blokesonabudget@gmail.com. Happy to help. See you next time.